cantaloupe muffins. This is a try. I'm going to take my basic recipe, change it around some. Now, because your cantaloupe butter has to be thick, like it would be for applesauce. So if yours is a little thin, you're going to have to dilute it till you get it to a thicker course. Now, canning cantaloupe and making cantaloupe butter, I will do when the cantaloupes are ripe again, and I'll show you how to do it. Now, I have to be careful because cantaloupe is a mild flavor. So I'm taking 1 cup of pecans, and I got them at 325, and I'm going to roast them just so I can smell the beautiful oil of them. Walnuts would give more of a woodsy smell. I think that would be a bit too strong. This is why I'm using pecans. Though I did think about using pine nuts, believe it or not. But we'll see how the pecans work instead. So we're also going to end up, I think dark brown sugar will be better for this as well. Now, if you're going to use oil on this, do not use a strong oil. I thought about corn. No, I know olive oil is a strong oil. No. Grapeseed oil you have to be careful of because it has omega-6 in it, which unbalances the others unless you are careful with you. If you're using grapeseed oil and you have inflammation in your joints, that's because the omega-3 is lower than the omega-6. You got to bring that omega-6 down and bring up the omega-3s, and then the inflammation you feel in your joints will get better. All right, so if you have a lot of things with the omega-6, especially grapeseed oil, you'll have a problem. I bought a bottle. I don't use it often, but I can use it at times. Now, I'm still thinking about this. Now, we don't have, the only fruit we're going to be putting in it is going to be the cantaloupe butter in it. The seasoning we're going to be using is going to be nutmeg. So let me go ahead and try it. I'm still thinking about putting this together. I don't have it settled in my head yet of exactly what I'm doing, but I'm working on it. I'm going to use a whole wheat flour with this. I just haven't decided how much I want to use. All right. Let's use 1 1/4 cups of all-purpose flour. I'll have to try one of these to let you know if it works. That's how we're going to have to do this because I just don't know if it's going to work. But we're going to try. Remember, level measurements because we're using the dry ingredients. If you don't level it off, shaking it will cause it to be heavier than it should be. And if you put it in a liquid one, you're going to have to shake the flour down and they're still going to be heavy. The object is just, it's already sifted before we had to sift everything before we did it. So you just level it off in a dry measure. And you see how the dry measure are. They do not have a spout. Okay, so we're going to add 1 1/4 here of all-purpose flour. We're going to put 1/4 cup of wheat flour. This is to make sure we get those minerals and the B vitamins in balance. And good morning to everybody. Shahak. I think I said that right. Don't hold me to it. I might have said it wrong. Okay, so 1/4 cup of whole wheat. That'll cover. The liquids that are going to be the problem trying to balance them, but I'll do it. Because we're not adding any fresh fruit into these. That's what I'm worried about, and I'm working on that part right now. Now for wheat bran, we're going to add 1/3 cup. This will make sure you clean your system out. With the B vitamins and stuff, you can't go wrong. All right. A 1/4 cup of white sugar. All right, we're going to use 1/4 of a cup of dark brown sugar. I think we're going to need that more than the other one. Remember, you have to pack it because of the molasses in it and all to get the right measurement on this one. Also, keep an eye on your nuts. You don't want to burn them. You just want to roast them. Good morning, Richard. In a northeast season? Okay. Okay. Let's see. We're going to add some wheat germ to this. I think 3 tablespoons. You're going to need nutmeg, and we are going to add 2 teaspoons. So we're going to give it good flavoring. All right. Yeah, that should work. Yeah, because I don't have the apples in it, so they should rise higher. Okay, we'll do it. 2 teaspoons baking powder. All right, if you're using baking powder from the store, you're going to have to add a teaspoon of baking soda or it's not going to work. Hi, T-H-E-R, there. Yes, it is. It's Tuesday. You're going to need salt. Let's see. Yeah, the salt will be fine. We can use the regular salt that I put in 1/2 teaspoon. Now, see, these are measuring spoons, modern ones. They have 3/4 of a teaspoon, like you can't figure that out. 1/2 tablespoon, 1/8 of a teaspoon. Really, guys? That's because you try doing a different kind of math than we know. All right. I'm going to mix this up. I just put everything in one bowl. All right. Grease a muffin tin, which I've already done. We've got the nuts in the oven. We're roasting those, so we'll have a nice nutty flavor to these. It might come out. Fingers crossed. Jason, that's very nice of you to say that. That was one of my teachers. Thank you from Wisconsin. That was very, very nice. Though I'm sure she'd condemn me on some of the things I do. She'd say, now, Sandy, it's okay, it's okay. All right, put this to the side. All right, we're definitely going to need 2 eggs. I know. I've got to be careful how I open them. My finger quit bleeding finally when I went to bed. So I don't want to irritate it anymore. Now just do it this way. Sandra, save your fingers. All right. So the oil I'm using is safflower oil. I think also sunflower oil is very mild. Oh, thank you. That looks like a cake and a heart. Thank you. Okay, so we're going to I'm using safflower, but if you have sunflower, you can. Do not use corn. I think it will affect the flavor. You actually need a very mild. I do not recommend canola oil. How much of this did I say I wanted? Oh, a third of a cup. So see, when you start creating, you have to sort of change the seasonings around and the measurements of certain things to make it work. That's what you see me thinking about. What am I going to do? So you never know. Hi, Indigo, Mac, at, what is that? TR. Thank you for the cake. That was very nice of you. All right. This is where okay, we'll try it. Just make sure that you have it thick. You don't want it too runny. Hold on. I am going to add a little extra on of this. I'll tell you in a minute how much. 3/4 of a cup of your apricot. I'm going to use some yogurt with what's left and eat that. That'll be good. Do I have my smaller spoon here? Well, that's my larger one. All right, I'll use this one. What the heck? My bird ate it all up anyway. So I'm going to use 3/4 of a cup here. I might be wrong, but I think I'm going to add 3/4 of cantaloupe butter. Now, when I made it, I did not add any seasonings to the cantaloupe butter. I figured I would add it to whatever I'm making at the time. Thank you. So that's how I'm thinking. Okay. Here. Oh yeah, it's here, okay. So we're going to mix this liquid part up. So your apricot butter has to be like apple butter thick, or applesauce if you make it. But when I plant the cantaloupe and I start harvesting them, I'll show you how to make it. Pumpkin butter. No, cantaloupe, not pumpkin. Sandra, get your head together. Cantaloupe butter. Let's check those nuts. Now, when you go to pick up a pan, if you have frying pans like mine that are from Cuisinart are all clad, you'll notice they're all metal. Do not come down on the handle like this because you can tilt it over and spill it into your oven. Go underneath it and pick it up, and in that way you won't spill what's in your frying pan that you're using as a bake. All right, now set your oven at 400 degrees and get your nuts out. And gentlemen, keep your mind clean. Because people who are gifted can pick up people's thoughts. You're not free from your own thoughts. I mean, I know when my girlfriend who's angry with me, who's in California, I know when she's thinking about me. So don't think your thoughts are private. People can hear them. And you think, that's why God says your thoughts, your tongue, can get you in a lot of trouble. I see most people believe that their thoughts are quiet. also thought about making cantaloupe apricot muffins as well. You say, where do these ideas come from? They come from up here. Just like I'm thinking of trying to make butter. I'm going to try to make cookies soon. Maybe this afternoon, I don't know. It depends upon what I can get done today. And I'm going to make vanilla chip cookies. Instead of chocolate chip, make vanilla chip cookies. Okay. Oh, Mac's got a dirty mind. Yeah, I'm thinking about trying that too. But right now I'm making nutty cantaloupe muffins. Well, at least let's say I'm trying to. So we have a cup of pecans here. Using my basic recipe, manipulating it and see what we come up. But I'm thinking about trying, next time I make muffins, is making cantaloupe apricot muffins and see how those come out. Oh, I'll go there, believe you me. I'll put you back here, you'll drop it, Sandra. Okay. Coat your nuts. Sure, I know how to make apple pie. I got a lot of apple pie recipes. I even got one that goes back in Amelia Simmons' cookbook, which was one of the first cookbooks. And they used rose water in it, which is totally different from everything that we have. And I'm thinking about making a modern one and putting rose water in it and see how it comes out. Okay, where did I put my fork? Oh, here it is, right under my nose. Remember, the only reason we coat the nuts with the flour is they don't sink to the bottom and they'll be suspended. If you don't know what suspended means, it means it'll hold it, the nuts all throughout from the top to the bottom. My daughter died. I only have 2 sons. Okay. Hope this works. Remember, we can't mix this all the way, because if you mix it all the way, you're going to mess it up. And I added 3/4 of a cup of the cantaloupe butter. But I have another jar, and I'm really thinking about next time trying it with apricots and cantaloupe and see how that comes out. Okay, well, it looks like it's not too bad. I'm checking the bottom. Okay, I'll go get it. My ladle. You should get ladles, different sizes are really nifty to have. I don't have the right roses to make that, so I'm going to have to buy it in the Middle Eastern store or order it from Amazon. Good morning, Block. But Mimi, I don't have the roses to make that. It's a special rose they make the rose water with, so I can't. I think they use rose hip, I think, but I'm not sure. I have a rose hip plant, but I gotta cut the weeds and stuff from it. I do, Mimi, try to get away from as many chemicals as I can. All right. I'm not going to tell you that I don't, but I try as much as I can. Okay. I don't know where my husband got this, but you might find ladles in different sizes at Amazon. I'm not sure. But you do have to make sure that your cantaloupe butter, when you make it, that it is thick like apple butter. I should make a double apple muffin using apple butter and fresh apples and nuts. That would be really an apple situation. Oh, I hope these come out. I really do. I've been thinking about it. But I just got to say, why don't you make it? So the next set that I make, if these are good, I'm going to definitely put apricots with it, and we'll see how it comes out. Now, when you cook like this, you've got to have a versatile taste bud, and not what you like, but be aware that you're going to get different flavors on things, and you have to be accustomed to it. Chefs have a very sensitive palate. Most people don't have a sensitive palate. In other words, I'm talking about taste buds. So they're the ones who would be able to taste everything you put in it because they're trained. If you don't have a really sensitive palate, you won't taste the flavors as much as you think. Because a lot of people eat the same food, so they get accustomed to that and they can't even taste anymore. But if you keep on giving such a variety all the time, they'll sit there and appreciate it. Like I wanted to make cantaloupe brownies, but if I make cantaloupe apricot muffins, I'll have to make the brownies next time after harvest. I don't like the cantaloupes in the store. They have a funny taste to them. And we were eating the cantaloupe. I was sharing my cantaloupes with my neighbor, and she said, "Oh, those are good, Sandy." I said, "Aren't they? And by the way, they're ripe. I got them right at the point of done. You know, because they actually separate from the plant, and you can just pick the cantaloupe, and it comes right off, which is really nice." The dough tastes really good. I think you're really going to like these. I'm going to have to do more canning of cantaloupe. And the reason I'm so versatile in the food that I eat is my mother introduced us to so many different kinds of food, so I'm very well aware of it. But she always said, follow the recipes exact, Sandy. I couldn't. My mind goes in different directions. The dough is really good. This has got to be really good. All right, we're going to have to wait for these. The batter's good. These have to be good. All right. So I know what I'm having for breakfast this morning. How long am I going to cook these? You probably remember better than I do. About 18 to 20 minutes. So if you wish to talk now, you can. It does, Derek. It does look delicious. Hi, Joyful. I greased the pans before I turn the video on. I figured if I tell you to grease them, then you already know you have to grease them. That's why I leave that part out. I'm sorry if you wish to see it. I'm sorry. I didn't think you would, you know, high block. I didn't think about it. Useful, joyful. Well, I am going to cook some more cube steaks today, and we're going to have these muffins with them. And I did a fruit cocktail with grapes and oranges and cherries and stuff. And I'm going to dice some pecans on top of it, and that's going to be served next to this. And we're going to have eggs. I think I'm going to scramble eggs today. So that's what we're making today. Islam? Oh, I can't wait. 20 minutes. 25, 30, 45 minutes. 45? No, it'll be 7:45 when they're done. We have to let them sit for about 5 minutes after that. We take them out. Now, I'm going to get some yogurt. I have that apricot butter. I'm going to put it in some yogurt. And add some sugar to it and nutmeg, and I think that's going to be a treat. Thank you, James. Let me tell you something. I actually gave you 3 recipes of biscuits, okay? If you use all white flour, that's fine. If you want to make a light whole wheat, take 1/4 of the white flour out and use 1/4 of a whole wheat. Now, if you want to make whole wheat biscuits, take out 1/2 cup of the flour mixture, of the all-purpose flour, and add 1/2 cup of whole wheat. I wanted whole wheat when I did that, so I used 1/2 cup of whole wheat in place of 1/2 cup of the white flour. So if you want white biscuits, you just sit there and use all-purpose flour. But if you want to try whole wheat, but you don't want it strong, just exchange 1/4 of the flour, all-purpose flour, to 1/4 of the whole wheat. But always make sure you keep your whole wheat in the refrigerator or the freezer, because it is a whole grain. It does go rancid. Hi, Monica. Hi, Sosa. Joyful. Okay. See, I don't like the yogurts I get into the store. So this is how I make my yogurts. I make my flavorful ones. Oh, if you use 1/2 cup of whole wheat flour in place of 1/2 cup of the all-purpose, it'll be a little heavier, but for whole wheat, that's good. The one that is my favorite is the light whole wheat, when you add 1/4 of a cup of whole wheat flour from exchange it for 1/4 of the all-purpose. The recipe is 2 cups of flour. Like I said before, it's a tablespoon of baking powder, a teaspoon of salt, 6 tablespoons of unsalted butter, because I take less salt. If you want salt and more of a salty taste, use salted butter. And what is it? Is it 2/3 of a cup milk? Let me check the milk. I can't remember that part. I think you get my head together, right? With all, you can't remember all this. Oh, and it's 2/3 of a cup of milk, and your oven temperature is 450, and you bake it for about 12 minutes. You do not have to put them close to each other. You can give them up to 1/2 inch apart from each other, because you want them to cook. Now, to test them, you go into the center biscuit, and you open it very carefully. If it's still wet on the inside, lay it down gently. and close the oven door. You're very welcome, Monica. Cole, good morning. No, hi. PGE. Okay, I'll show you what to look for. Number one, if you're buying your yeast, any yeast, you keep it next and close to the butter compartment, all right, in your refrigerator. Now, you have to check these dates on them. This expires April 27, 2037? 2027. This will be gone. But you read your date there, okay? A lot of people like to keep it in the cabinet. The heat will kill it. That's why you keep it there. Do not put it in the freezer. It will kill it as well, all right? So that's how you have to do it. You have to read those packages. They're not going to read it, and they are going to sell you. So if it doesn't bubble or anything like that. Now, if you do have a good yeast, dates are perfectly fine and everything's going good. If you add something that is too hot or too cold, it will not bubble. What you're looking for is it's called proofing is what you're looking for. And don't use warm or hot water from the faucet because it gets sediments come through it. That's why you use the cold water, because if you get the sediments in there, it will kill your yeast as well. So use your wrist as a temperature. If you can just barely feel the warmth of it, you're fine. Or if you can't feel it, you got it at 98.6. You just pour a little bit of water there, but you have to heat it up on the stove, all right? James, that's all right. All right. You need 2 cups of flour, a tablespoon of baking powder, a teaspoon of salt. What did I say? Just 2/3. I never remember. Oh, and 6 tablespoons of butter. And shoot, I never remember the milk. The milk is 2/3. And that's a very basic, simple recipe. Now, I have recipes that we can make Fire Angel biscuits with. We have other ones that have herbs in them. I have a lot of biscuit recipes. Matter of fact, I have hardly used any of them. We even can make them with heavy cream. Those are fattening, but they're good. I've only made them once, and they're very good. Now, I like to use my butter frozen, okay? Now, if you don't and you want to take it from the refrigerator, you can. But you're going to definitely need a pastry cutter to cut it into the flour, and don't handle it too much. If you see the video, it was alive. I said, what did I write? I wrote butter biscuits. You could see that my butter was frozen, and because I used whole wheat, my butter wasn't working in as well. Another thing is don't handle it any more than you have to. And I know it looks like I'm handling it a lot the way I was doing it, but I had my hand like this, cupping it till it came together and came together. I would show you the biscuits, but my son demolished them, both of them. Okay? Oh, those smell interesting. 25, 30. Okay. Please do not overflow. If you overflow, I'm going to have to adjust that recipe. Okay. Yeah, I can add it in here. I'm making some yogurt to eat. I have a little bit of this left, so I figured I'll go ahead and take some yogurt that I've made. I'll add some sugar and the apricot, and I'll enjoy it. No reason to waste it, right? But I thought about serving it over pancakes, but now I like the cantaloupe and cantaloupe and the apricots. That sounds really good. I have done 2 videos on sourdough. I strongly recommend. Yeah, the heavy cream and ratio changes. That's why I'll show you how to make it. Oh, but they're so good. The fattening. But I even have them with dried tomatoes. I make them with bacon and different cheeses. Oh, listen, biscuits are almost as bad as making muffins. I mean, you can just go anywhere you want. How do you make dizzy sourdough culture? You have to sit there, and usually I start one in the spring if mine dies, all right? So what you need to use bread flour. When the spring and the door is open, windows open, I'll sit there and show you how to make it. But if you're in a warm climate, you need bread flour, better known as winter wheat. And if you put it outside, you have to put cheesecloth over it so the insects will stay out of it. And you stick it next to a window. The ratio is 1.5 cups of water to 2 cups of bread flour, and you beat it like crazy. Put it next to a window, and then at night go and beat it again. Do it the next morning, and you do it in the evening. You keep on doing it and doing it like that. Now, what's going to happen is you'll notice it'll come to a point where you see a lot of bubbles, and it starts to swell. You've caught your cultures. And then what you have to do is get a quart jar, put it in there, and then you sit there and you feed it. Which one is that one? That's would be every day you give it 2 tablespoons of bread flour and 1.5 tablespoons of cold water, and you beat it like that every day. That's how you feed it, and keep feeding it. Okay, now if you want a liquid culture, you take part of that sour, that's called the sponge culture, the one I just gave you. You take this, some of the sponge culture, put it in a jar. You need 1.5 ounces, wait a minute, 1.5 ounces of flour to 2 ounces of water, cold water. And that's a liquid culture. And it gets fed every day like the other one. And it's always bread flour. No, that's good. Hi, Artie. I like to do it in the spring. I can't do it in the spring. It's too cold. But these are microbes you're trying to catch throughout the air. And there's over 400 of them, and you need all of them. Yes. Isaiah, yes. Bread pans. If you don't grease them, when you're trying to get that bread out, it's going to stick like glue. You don't have to use butter. You can use shortening. You can use lard or butter, just as long as you grease them. Some people like that spray one that you spray on. 1.5 cups of water. 2 cups of bread flour, 1.5 cups of water. Also, you have to use a ceramic bowl. They're called bread bowls, like this. You need these. The metal and the glass and plastic will not work well. I've used them all. Goodbye, Artie, for now. Okay, we got 7 minutes. Hey, this isn't bad. So, I'm sorry. I'm eating breakfast, which is going to be yogurt this morning. Till it's completely cool, and you do it on a rack. Some breads take longer, some take less. I left the one I made yesterday. I left it out all night. I had to. Isaiah, so you have to let it cool completely. If I'm running late at night and making bread and it comes out late, I put it on a rack. I get it out of the pans, put it on a rack, put it on the counter, and let it sit. Don't cover it, just let it go. can't believe how good this is. Those muffins have to be delicious. I got my cube steaks. I know this sounds more like a spring day, but listen, after being below zero and everything, if it's 30 something, I can say we're having a nice warm day. My butchers are so nice, and they really give me nice cuts. That's why I always say you should have a butcher, one that you can really trust. The thing is, I can never get these things out of here easily, because they really rattle. Oh, come on. I'm just trying to get the cube steaks out, but they wrapped them. Okay, now I got it. See, they always give me these lovely steaks. You can't complain. And I don't rinse these because they're already cut up, because they run them through the machine. I want to make sure that they don't all cut on time cooking. So next time you see me make muffins, we're going to definitely make cantaloupe apricot with the pecans. That's got to be good. You know, just think about it. I always go there. Yeah, well, we have a warm day. We're in the 30s today, 31. But listen, that's warm after being below zero. Sure they will. In the state that I grew up in, they say Texas is getting crowded. The cities are. They said I wouldn't even recognize Beeville anymore. Yes, and I'm eating the last little bit of cantaloupe and yogurt that I made. You can always try different things. But next time I make muffins, it's definitely going to be apricot cantaloupe. You have to admit, it does sound good. Really good. We got 3 minutes and these muffins will be coming out on a rack. So let me get the rack. Isaiah, yeah, I never thought, but it just came across my head one day. I had all those cantaloupes out in the yard, and I was giving them away. And I said, why not cantaloupe butter? So I proceeded to do that. Oh, thank you. My girlfriend found this page. It was called Creators Something on, I don't know if it was on Instagram or Facebook. And we bought all the pens. She said, well, I like these. And I said, well, I like these. And we bought them. And she said, oh, Sandy, that looks so nice on you. I said, that looks so nice on you. And we ended up buying every one that they made. So I have a nice collection. 5 minutes. You have to let the muffins sit 5 minutes. Breads have to sit longer. Biscuits, because if you don't cut them and you pry them open, hold them, and just pry them open gently without putting pressure, you can eat those almost right away. But the object is they tell you that it's still in a dough state if you cut it or anything. So you have to give them those few minutes to, set really well. Let's see, your name is Gren. Thank you. So you're watching me eat breakfast as I walk around. One more minute. What is that little thing in front that looks like an X with a top and an A underneath, Amanda? I don't know what it means. Muffin time. Okay, they didn't rise too high, but they did rise. They have a nice smell to them. As you can see, they did rise, but not as high. They do have an orange color because we used dark brown sugar and the cantaloupe, which is a brown, plus the whole wheat. Cancel. Okay, so I'll show them to you. For this recipe, 400. Now we give them 5 minutes to set. So they're still going to be hot in 5 minutes. We'll let them set a bit and then we'll get them out. All right, I like my apricot yogurt. I meant my cantaloupe yogurt. Dang. All right, let's see. I don't need this anymore. Okay, we're just giving these time. They do smell very, very nice. So I'm making a very simple dinner, but I'm going to serve a lot of fruit with it. Okay, how many minutes? Okay, we have 3 more minutes. Okay, these I can put out later. I'll get these over here for now. Yeah, the pan's cooling off faster than the muffins. All right, black pepper. I think I want to use butter and corn oil for these cube steaks. I think I'm just going to do them simple. I wonder if I put Worcestershire sauce on them while I'm cooking them with black pepper. Mix that up with the, mix them up. Let's see. If we add Worcestershire sauce to the discard and crack black pepper in it and use that instead. Doesn't it sound interesting? Yes, it is. A very classic one. The whole thing is the less you handle your biscuits, the better. So I put my hand like this, and I roll it around and roll. I don't put pressure on it. I just roll it, and keep rolling it, and it comes into a ball. Then I put it on. If it's going to stick, I'll put a little bit of flour on the counter or your work areas, they say, but I'm using a counter, so I'm going to say counter. And I flat it to a 1/2 inch. But remember, if you're unaccustomed to whole wheat and you don't like it, just use all-purpose flour. But if you want to try whole wheat, I would recommend taking 1/4 of the all-purpose flour out and adding 1/4 of whole wheat. And you won't really taste the wheat, but you'll get those B vitamins and stuff. I'm accustomed to a lot of whole wheat. So what am I doing? I want more pepper than this. Yeah, I'm going to try Worcestershire sauce. Yeah, why not? Okay. Okay. See, because I used whole wheat, it's a little darker. Yeah, I'm going to use Worcestershire sauce. Here's the inside of them. I know the test is the flour, but they do smell good. Cantaloupe. The cantaloupe is very mild underneath it. These are unusual. When you make your cantaloupe butter, make sure it's thick. And you have to add 3/4 of a cup of cantaloupe. With the way I made it, but you've got the recipe right here. I think the dark brown sugar gives it better flavor. You definitely need 2 teaspoons of nutmeg for this. They're good. Wonder how long they'll last in the house. So now you see me eat breakfast. I had a muffin and I had yogurt. Running red peppercorn. What an unusual muffin to make. I can't wait to get to it to make the apricot ones. Not with this. This is not made for the cantaloupe. Nutmeg goes very well with cantaloupe. That's why I didn't put any vanilla in it. Let's see, Pat. No, you can't come over. I got my family asleep. They're not up. I'm the only one up. I told you, they work crazy hours. Hi, gang. IRV. I grew up smelling my breakfast. My mother, at that time, remember, everybody was cooking. Just like coming home from school. Oh my God, by the time you got home, you were starving because you could smell what everybody was going to have. And then if your neighbor had a barbecue, he'd come out with these huge steaks, thick, man, lay them out on the grill. And he'd, oh man, and she'd come out with other things from the kitchen that she was working. Everybody was drooling. No, I have not had my morning coffee. I don't always have my chicory root coffee. Sometimes I do, sometimes I don't. Let me go get the Worcestershire sauce. We're going to try this. Okay, get some Worcestershire sauce here. Get the discard. You'll like those muffins. Hi, PG. Oh, when we used to do that, because my husband did that, he would grill, and I would come out with things that most people would say, where's the macaroni salad or the potato salad? I said, no, I'm going in different directions. I always go in a different direction. I like to give people variety. But I usually know when I'm invited to a barbecue or something, I know exactly what's going to happen. I know exactly what I'm going to get because they serve the basic things. So, that's how I am. Food should be exciting, you know? That's how I feel. It should be very exciting. Most people will have beer, steak, hamburgers, hot dogs, potato, coleslaw, stuff that they could buy. I was talking to my friend Steven, and he told me, yes, Sandy, they come in here and they literally want us to do all the cooking and all night. All they do is pick it up, so I'm going to be busy. I said, God, really? You know, I've never had it like that. I have a waffle pan. Thank you, Rolling. Isaiah, I do have a waffle pan. Yes, I just made waffles. Goody, I don't think you know my friend. All right, a lot of black pepper in this. This is my discard that I'm working with. Stephen is a very nice young man. I have to say young because I'm older than everybody else. Unless somebody's older than me, then I'm the young one. He's younger than I am, but he's just a very nice young man. His dog has been very sick, but he's on the mends, which I'm very glad to hear. Pets are like children. This has to be interesting. You know that. I don't want too much salt in that. I need my spoon fork again. Fork. I drop it in here. Oh, here it is. Now, I explain all the time that I use my discard from my sourdough. It's actually extra sourdough culture. I don't feed it. I just let it go sour, and I just use it as a binder to things. That's still pretty hot in there. Okay, we'll see how it comes out. Okay. we'll see how this comes out. I don't know how it's going to come out. It's going to be a little thinner because I used Worcestershire sauce in here. So I have to be careful it doesn't run off. Let's see how it comes out. See, when you thin it out, it's going to run some, but not too much. I'm going to get some flour them, put them on a rack. That water's still cold though. Go? No, I am not. Oh, now we're making cube steaks. I made cantaloupe muffins that's going with it. That was Worcestershire sauce and peppercorns, and I mixed it with my discard, which is just excess sourdough culture that I do not feed. And I use that because if I feed it, it'll start growing. Then I have 3 or 4 bottles. Thank you, Derek. And flew up. I'm just going to say flu, F-L-U. Okay? Get a rack. You cool enough to sit on this counter? Yeah. Now you know I use flour, collect flour that I've used that is left over. I have it right here. I'm going to put it on a plate and we're going to flour these. We might have to drench them twice, but that's okay. Because when you drench them once, you can see the liquid coming through, and you want the flour to be absorbed. All right, scoot you out of, I need some room here, and we're going to move you over here when we're done here. I have the flour right here. Now you don't have to cook cube steaks until they're completely done if you like yours, because they are a beef and a steak, so you can sit there and cook them the way you like your steaks, if you wish. Press them into the flour to make sure it sticks. If you don't, they won't stick the way you want them to stick. Oh, this is a biggie. Take the whole plate. Now, if you watch these, you'll notice that the moisture will start coming through. That's why you're going to coat them a second time. I know I have whole wheat white, all purpose. I think I got some bread flour in there. It looks like I got some wheat German. You know, because I've been cooking and I saved that flour. I put it in a bowl, and when I've used it enough, I sift it to get the particles out of it, and then I keep on using it so I don't waste it. Good morning, Cleo. Thank you for joining. No, subscribing. Mr. Goth, are you frying? Yes, they're going to be fried. I'm just deciding if I want to do it in butter and corn oil. That's all I'm deciding right now. Okay, let me get my oil. Do I have any extra oil? Have any oil in the back of this refrigerator before I go and pull fresh oil out? No, I don't. Okay. See, they sit there and say that they got people when I was younger. They convinced mothers that lard was a problem, that people were dying from heart attacks. That was the big thing when I was little. And then they sat there and decided that they got everybody using oil. Then somebody decided to check fat out, which is lard. And they found out lard has nutrients that the body needs just as much as the oil. Leslie? Yes, this is live. Not red on the top. Yeah, it's red on top live. All right. I'm going to put some butter with corn oil. Don't worry, I'll move you over into the corn oil. Make sure you add enough that they don't sit on the bottom, that they can be moved in the oil. Other than that, you're going to lose the topping. Well, we made cantaloupe, nutty cantaloupe muffins. Okay, Rhode Island. Let me see. Does he have a white breast or is he gray on the breast? Because the gray one is amber and the white breast is taffy. Oh, that's Taffy at the table. Yeah, I see him. Since I sit at the table and he wants to see what I'm doing and I can't hold him, he wants to know what's going on because he hears me talking like, is she insane, Mommy? You know? You're getting tired, young man. That's Taffy over there. Yeah, he is. Now I'm going to heat this up, the butter and oil. I put in a little over half a stick with the corn oil, which will give it a nice flavor. Well, that's heating up. Now you see these? I don't know if you can see them, but moisture is coming through. Now we don't want them to stick, so we're going to re-dip them, flour them, I mean, into this flour to recoat them again. And press them in to make sure that it sticks. You see? You see how it's becoming moist? It'll stick. So what you're doing is you're adding more flour to it. Give it a second coating to help hold the crust on them. It works 99% of the time. Once in a while, it doesn't, which really irks me when it does that. But we've got the butter, and I'll be moving you over here. Put this underneath you. you could see they're white again, you see? That's why you do it. This is the last one here. I get 4 good size cube steaks by a pound by my butcher. He doesn't come out with these tiny pieces that you get in the supermarket. He's real good about getting good sizes. So sometimes it's good to have a private butcher. And some things they can't get. The state of New York has so many rules and regulations on stuff. You have to order some stuff out of state and have it come in. Or you have to have a husband who hunts, and then you're really lucky. Okay, we'll be able to move you over. Now the fruit cocktail, we used to be able to buy it into the store, but we put coconut and pecans with it. When we go to serve it, we get the crunchiness of that and the flavor. It's really nice. It's made with cherries, grapefruits, and oranges. I can't find it anymore. It used to always come out at Thanksgiving and Christmas. You don't find it up here at all. But I like it. And it was always a side dish during the holidays. More of a dessert for us children to snack on while our parents were having their drinks. Okay, you're going to be coming over. Don't worry. Come join me over here. There. So I think this is going to be a nice dinner today. Different, more like breakfast, because this is also, you could have this for breakfast, because you got the muffins, you got the steaks, and you're going to have the eggs and fresh fruit, or a fruit cocktail. You could call this breakfast. And it'll go excellent, you know, with coffee. Okay, get hot, and then we'll take care of it. Okay. I double floured them after I put the discard on because the liquid moves through, and then when I go to fry them, wherever it's liquid, it sticks to the pan. So I do that double coat, and I press it in really hard with the flour to make sure it absorbs it. So when I put that second coat on, it's sitting on top of that, and it doesn't come off. I found out it works better, that's all. Don't worry, just cleaning the tablecloth. If you think I'm hitting the cat, I'm not. No, this is a Maytag oven. Yeah, that's what I do. I double coat the flour. I first let the first coat absorb that liquid, because you'll see it on the meat. Then I do that second coating. No, that doesn't sound good, STM. Chocolate gravy. I think you might mean chocolate sauce or something, but not gravy. Gravy are your drippings. But another thing to always remember is don't let this meat sit too long in one spot. Because if you do, it will stick. Let me see if I can get you over here better. See, because as you cook them, you'll notice that they start to stick. The last ones, if you're not careful. Hi, cut, I got glare on mine now. Mr. Godwin. STM. I've never heard of chocolate gravy. Oh. Nobody's ever given me that recipe. Never. These are cube steaks with cantaloupe muffins, and we're going to have a fruit cocktail and scrambled eggs. Laura, could you please give me that recipe with chocolate gravy? I've never heard of it. I grew up in the South, but I never heard that one. That one got past me. I've never heard of it. I'm asking a lady to tell me. Right. Hello. See, I have to be careful with chocolate because it has caffeine in it, and my body does not like caffeine. I still like it, but my sons can wear it. I mean, wear it. They can use it. They can eat it with no problem. But me, it doesn't work. You see, you keep this moving, and the chances of it sticking is a lot less. Oh, yes, but do you have the recipe of how you make chocolate gravy? That's what I'd like to know. Flour, lard, cocoa powder, sugar. Okay. Okay. Okay, I'm noticing because I put Worcestershire sauce in it, it's not as crunchy as it should be, so be extremely careful. You're only going to turn it turn it over once, don't turn it over twice. I can already see how it's acting. This is how we learn. We get in here and have fun. Thank you, Mr. Gott. Tennessee, good morning. Shane, how are you doing today? Is it Kentucky or Tennessee that has the Creation Museum? I can't remember. I think it's just one of them. Hi, Ashy. Derek. Because I want to go to the Creation Museum. I can't remember if it's in Kentucky or Tennessee, but I think it's in one of those states. Hello, Miss Princess, and good morning. We have to be careful turning these just one time. Hello, Christopher. Hi, Archie. No, these are cube steaks with cantaloupe muffins. And we're going to make, I'm going to take a fruit cocktail to serve with it, and we're having scrambled eggs with it. So I'm going to be scrambling eggs after this, get everything going, and put it together for my son. I'm not making chicken, Ashy. Nope. I told you I have to cook early in the morning for my families because they take the food with them. So I have to cook early, dinner early. That's why you saw me eating yogurt this morning. That's how I eat in the morning. I don't sit down and really have a lot to eat unless I don't have anything to do, then I'll do it. Oh, that's a bit hot, Sandra. Oh, I guess somebody's getting up. Yeah, my day's going to get crazy now. I already said hi, Chris. No, Christ. Christopher. Okay. Thank you, Miss Princess. No, my sons. They take it to work with them. You're actually seeing what we're having for dinner. I already ate my breakfast, standing up talking with you guys. Thank you. Yes, it did come up that you're from Tennessee, Laura. Hi, Christopher. But as you can see, I'm not flipping these back and forth. I can't afford it because the Worcestershire sauce is in the discard when I mixed it up. If you wish, Ashley, you can. I'll be your internet grandmother on YouTube. So we don't have to put any Worcestershire salt or pepper on this. Yeah, Laura, you're right. But I added Worcestershire sauce to my discard. When I use my discard, it doesn't get soggy. That's why I use it. You're welcome. Miss Princess, go ahead. I'll be your grandmother on the channel. Okay, this is the last one, and then the eggs have to get done. And then I'll put the fruit together. I will have to sip this. Well, I'm going to get dirty anyway, it doesn't matter. Okay. You're welcome, Laura. So you don't have to cook these tube steaks until they're completely done. You cook them just like you would have a steak, and you're fine. A lot of people say you can't do that. Yes, you can. They're steaks. Yes, maybe want to stick. I don't want you to stick. Thinking you're running out of bowls again. Of course I am. So this time when I do the eggs, I think I'm going to use heavy cream with them instead of milk or canned milk. Good morning from Texas, boss. Hi from Maryland. I went to Washington, D.C. one time. Very trying experience. Okay. I'll turn this down because I'm going to use it for eggs. And here these are. Getting it all done. I gotta take those muffins out. Let's get the eggs first. Don't you dare. Bring you over here. Oh, you're getting dizzy, aren't you? Okay, so you don't have to always use milk. You can use evaporated milk. You can sit there and use light cream or heavy cream. I'm going to use heavy cream today. You can use half and half. Most people will stick with milk or half and half, but you can add other things. Now, when you used to have to buy eggs, we used to have to crack them in a bowl because they were fresh. And you didn't know if a rooster and a hen started making a baby, and you would end up with something you didn't expect, you know. So you used to, you'd have to be careful with your eggs. But people who are on the farm and stuff already know all of that. Now, how do you do this? You crack it, then you use your fingers on the bottom and the top, and you just open it. That's just like you open your mouth. Same thing. That's how you do it. Especially when one cuts one's finger. Come on, come on. Go, 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 go. Got an eggshell in it. Okay. That's all right. We'll throw it over there. Now, 2 eggs is 13 grams of protein. Now, you already have the steak over there, right? We've done the steak. 3 ounces is 25 grams of protein. When you start adding all of this up, you can see this is a very heavy meal, though you don't think about it. Thank you. Thank you very much, Miss Princess and Cleo. Yeah, isn't it easy, especially when you cut one hand, you got the other hand to fall back on? When my sons first did it, man, we had eggshells. We were picking eggshells out all the time. Sometimes I'll get an eggshell. You just have to go fetch it out. So 6, we've got 7 eggs. So how much protein do we have here? 7. We'll do 6 and multiply that by 13. So how much do you have? And then add another 4. So how many grams do we have? This is just in the egg department. Ashley. So you got about 70 grams of protein. Okay, so as you can see, yeah, see right there. And you only need 70 a day. If you're a hard worker, you need more. If you're pregnant, you're going to just about double it. So you might as well get over it. You're going to eat a ton of food. Okay? And children, well, they eat all day because they can't put that much protein in one shot. So they're hungry all the time, which makes sense. But a healthy adult. Now, if you count your proteins, you'll get your calories in check. But if you count your calories, you will never get your proteins in check. Okay, so I always count proteins for my meal. And that is pretty much it. I don't worry about my calorie count. People say, don't you worry about your calories? I said, no, because if you get your protein, your calories will follow directly in line with them for your body. Isn't that funny? Now you say, well, if I get more calories, will that turn into protein? No, it will not. You put it on here, you put it on here, you put it on here, you're going to put it on. It's calories. They don't go into protein. But what's funny is if you get too much protein and not enough calories, your body will convert that protein, what it needs, and turn it into calories for the energy that you need. That's why it's recommended, though they don't like to tell you that, count your protein grams. So if you see those steaks, and that's a pound of meat there. There's 16 ounces. All right, every 3 ounces is 25 grams. So how many grams of protein do you have there and here? And then add it up. And that's how much grams I've got in just one simple meal. And I don't eat 3 meals a day. I did when I was little, because my mother put me on a diet. And then when we went to school, the food was so bad at school, I refused to eat it. Okay. Put salt and pepper according to taste. I can't tell you how much. I'm going to have to find my fork again. Oh, God. Heavy cream. You add it just like you do anything else. It'll help keep your eggs moist and they don't dry out. I don't need this. I'll use a whisk this time. What am I talking about? There, I don't want that there. Now I couldn't add any bone meal to anything here this time. See, most people will go this far with their eggs to beat them. You see, you have streaks of yellow and white. They don't beat them completely done, so then when you cook the eggs, you have the white streaks and the yellow streaks. They like you to beat them completely up to where you get that nice, solid color. You'll have beautiful yellow eggs. See how it turns out? Very nice. like people say you have to eat 3 meals a day. And my thing is that do you eat because society and you've been trained to eat 3 meals a day, or are you really hungry? You know, if you eat when you're hungry, you'd find out you eat a lot less food than you realize. But people are accustomed, I've got to eat. Why do you have to eat? Are you hungry? No. I can sit there and say, well, it looks good, I'm going to eat it. I'm not hungry, but I'm going to eat it. And then I'll have to remember that I have to eat less the next day. No. Maybe turn this flame up some. Now, to do your eggs, a lot of people cook them very, 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 very fast, and they're burnt. If you have brown on them, they're burnt. When you toss them, they should just be a beautiful yellow color and nothing else. And once you mix them, you pour them in here, you just let them cook till they're cooked on the bottom before they burn, and then you start picking that up and let the wet or the uncooked egg slide under it. Waiting for you to finish melting. See, they're completely beaten. Society expects you to cook in a hurry. Do things in a hurry. Always do everything in a hurry. You don't get the enjoyment out of it or anything else. It's just to get you to do more work. That's what it is. You have your whole lifetime. Every day there's going to be something that you have to do. Balance your life out. Don't get so carried away that you've got, look, I got half the house clean and I haven't finished it. But I'll get there. We cooked cube steaks, cantaloupe, muffins, and we're having eggs. Well, I wasn't that good. When I was really sick, I did a duck breast. And my son said, Mommy, I had to throw it out. I said, why? He said it was raw. I said, really? Well, I had a bad headache, hadn't slept, and my head was congested like crazy. He said, yeah, we can always tell when you're sick, everything messes up. So I have days when I'm really sick and I do mess up. My all blend, I make it myself. My all blend has 4 cups of olive oil, the robust one, first press. Then I add a cup of safflower oil, a cup of sunflower, and a cup of peanut oil. And I put a vitamin E to it, spelled with a Y, the word dialpha-tocopherol, spelled with a Y. That's my oil. I make a half a gallon at a time. I live in New York State, in America. Now, if you take a good look, I don't know if you can see it. I really don't know if you can see this. For those of you that have trouble doing these simple things. If you take a look, on the edge here, you can see it's starting to cook right on the edge here and here, but it's not here yet. But I just wait for it to cook. But it's hard. If you're in a hurry, you can mess up a lot. Remember, you're not a chef. I'm not a chef. So you take your time. You don't have to cook real quick for anybody. And any of these dishes I make, you can sit there and make for 1 or 2 people, or you can double them up or whatever you want. Some of them you can make TV dinners, or you can stick them in the freezer, bring them out and defrost them, and set it up like that. Um, Muffins, if you make a batch of muffins, you can sit there and you can put them in the refrigerator, take them out as you would like them, and they will last a bit in the refrigerator as well. So it's not that you can't do this, it's that people choose not to cook. You can make excuses. Everyone will make an excuse. Well, I don't have the time, or I'm too tired, or it's too much, or it's only me. If it was only me and I bought a pound of cube steaks, believe you me, I'd wrap one each individually, put it in the freezer, and know I got 4 meals. I don't have to eat them all at once, because meat lasts about 9 months, 10 months in the freezer. So when you start thinking like that, you can sit there and say, okay, I've got this. You buy chicken thighs without the bones. You sit there and say there are 8 to a package. I can only eat one. Well, fine. Wrap each other one in each package, mark it, the date and all. Put it in the freezer. There's no excuse that you can't cook. It's that you don't want to cook. That's the whole thing. You really just don't want to cook. Oh, talking to you, I burnt my eggs. You see the brown on them. Well, I make mistakes. I'm not perfect. I'm not going to say that I am. I'd be a liar if I said that. But anyway, I don't let people give me that. I tell them point blank, you don't want to cook. It's just as simple as that. It's easier to get in the car and go to a fast food, you know? Oh yeah, I burnt them a bit. Anyway, you're not supposed to burn them, but that's me. I do have my days. But the muffins came out right, and so did the steaks, so you can't condemn me on one. I was talking with you, and I just forgot about the eggs for a bit. But people make excuses. I've seen people, I'm too old. So as long as you've got breath and life in you, you should get up and start moving. So there's no excuse except that you get lazy, and it's more convenient to have people do it for you, paying them and everything else. I don't. I get up and do what I have to do. If I don't finish it one day, I'll get to it. Sooner or later, I'll get to it. These eggs are going to be moist because of the heavy cream. Okay, that's it. I get a plate and put the muffins on and get them out. Three, Jill. And you're probably saying that is a lot of food for 3. We're big eaters. Believe it or not, we are very big eaters. This doesn't go here. That goes on the other side. Yes, you did. See, I will leave these muffins sitting around for my sons to come and get them. Okay. So they come in from work and they're hungry. They have something to snack on. Because we have them for breakfast and snack on muffins. They're like a quick bread to have. But then you can make them so nutritious that, you know, it's like having a meal. Even if they have coffee with them, doing this. But they are good. I have to say that. They are really good. Better than I thought they would come out. Okay, you're sticking on one side. I should have gotten you out earlier, but I didn't. And there's the muffins. So the only thing left is for me to just open a can of my cocktail that I canned, put some pecans with it and some shredded sweet coconut. And that will be in place of vegetables if we're going to be using fruit. That's none of your business, Cleo. The coffee won't be on for about another hour and a half, but I might make a pot for myself. Thank you and have a great day. Okay, Shane, if you have to go. If you want me to stay on and make my coffee with you, I'll do that. Just let me know. I'll give you about a minute to decide. Coffee will be on in about an hour. Okay, let me get it, Cleo. I'm making a small pot, and I usually don't drink it all. And remember, I am using chicory root, and that's what I use because coffee has too much caffeine, and the coffee that I use with chicory root does not have any caffeine, and it's gluten-free as well, which makes it really, really easy for me. All right, you added too much water, pour some off. Okay. See, I'm going to have to order some coffee. I'm just running out. This is all I've got left. This is an organic, this is dandelion dark roast. It's coffee-free, acid-free, caffeine-free, and prebiotic, gluten-free. What it has in it. This one has organic carob, organic chicory, organic dandelion, organic ramon seeds, and organic natural coffee flavor. And they come in small little bags. This bag is how many ounces? 10 ounces, but it's really nice. And it looks like this. Let's see if I can get it up here so you can see it, or turn you down so you can see what it looks like. This is what it looks like. You see right here? Let's see if I can get it. Here it is, right here. That's what it's like. Let's see if I can bring it closer to you. That's what I'm trying to do. That's what it looks like. It has, you can see what's in it. It's not grind to a fine powder. But it's nice and it's different. And if you have, like I said, if you have high blood pressure, the doctor will tell you to come off salt. But caffeine from the coffee beans causes high blood pressure. He'll tell you to come off the salt, but he won't tell you to come off the coffee. I just have an allergic reaction to caffeine. I can't handle it. My body can't handle it. So what I finally found this. I tried mushroom coffee, and my blood pressure was climbing over 200. Both numbers were over 200. And the doctor was going to put me on blood pressure medicine. And I was saying, why is it up? I'm not drinking coffee. I'm having mushroom coffee. I called them, and they said we spray before we dehydrate the mushrooms, we spray them with real coffee. I said, well, I can't have that. That's caffeine. So I came off that. My blood pressure came back down. This one, it came across, right across my feed. I can't remember if it was Instagram or Facebook. And they said it's caffeine free. I said, okay, I'll try it. I tried it and it tastes a lot like coffee. It's a little strong. I find it a little stronger. For me, it's slightly off, but remember, chicory root was coffee for a long time before they found out about coffee beans. This was what they had. So really, they have different ones. You could try the Java, or you could, this is a dark one. I tried the Java. I tried the French roast. I liked both of those. The teas I tried, they gave me samples of one, and I didn't like it too much. But I do like the coffee. It doesn't taste 100% like coffee, but it tastes a lot like coffee. My son says, Mommy, one of them had dates, and he said, Mommy, I can taste the dates in these things. I said, yes, it's a very subtle. But remember, chicory root was the coffee of the time, not what you know as coffee today. And people didn't have high blood pressure. It calms the heart and everything else. Just buy one little package, you know. I think you'll spend $15 for a 10-ounce bag, but make sure you get the one. And you can see it. It's called Teeccino, I think. Teeccino. We'll roll it up. Yeah, Teeccino. And look it up. They'll tell you. A lot of people like it. I got it from where did I get this? From the company. Type in, search for this company. Teeccino. Right there. So Amazon, I typed it up, Google, and the company came up. That's why I got it. You're welcome. So when they tell you to cut back on your salt to lower your blood pressure, they're still going to give you blood pressure medication because the coffee is the one that does that. The salt makes the arteries hard. That's why I use my mixed salt. The iodized salt is very high in sodium, those salts, but the iodine is down here. I mix iodized salt, a 1-to-3 ratio, and it's 3 tablespoons of kelp to 1 tablespoon of iodized salt, which picks the iodine and minerals way up here and keeps the sodium way down here. And then taking this, I have everything under control. But sodium makes your arteries hard. Coffee makes your heart pump harder and faster. And with all that combined, something's going to give. Ashy? Yeah. Sandy's a very common name. And good morning, Matthew. Thank you, Edwin, for joining us. So that's why I have this. And now my son said, Mommy, if you don't get that espresso maker, I am going to get it for your birthday. So I'm going to see if I can get it before he gets it. And he says, that's your birthday gift, which is very nice, but I'm going to try to buy it myself. I have some extra money this month. I've been saving for this coffee pot because I really like it. And we'll try some of those exotic coffees. Though they have milk and coffee and stuff together, I won't have it every day, but I will try it, and we'll try different ones and see how it works. Thank you, Cleo. For blood pressure, it's coffee and salt. They are your problem. Coffee and salt is your problem. Too much salt and too much coffee. Now, tea has it too. Now, I'll give you everything that has a high caffeine, which is going to cause your heart to race like crazy, and too much salt. Those two combinations can kill you. All right. Caffeine is in coffee, tea, sodas, chocolate, power drinks. Does that answer your question? So if you have any of those, you're getting a lot of caffeine, which is making your heart work harder. Now, if you eat a lot of processed food, you're going to find out there's a lot of salt in it already. So you're getting all that salt and that's the combination that's causing these high blood pressures. Now, if you have a high cholesterol, your heart's going to work harder. Now, the only way you can eat the fat up and clear your arteries and stuff so it doesn't have to work so hard is you have to take lecithin. Now, you can have it. If I have to take it, I'll take it in milk. But Tony, oh my God, that friend of ours, what he did. Lecithin is actually 2B vitamins. But if you just take that, you're going to throw the other B's off, which are going to give you other problems. So what you need is to take a B complex 50 with granular lecithin. Now, if you have high cholesterol, I would recommend for you to, well, I recommended a fourth of a cup, but Tony took a half a cup twice a day. He wanted to get rid of his in a hurry, and he did that. I said, every time you have the lecithin, I said a fourth of a cup, but he said, his cholesterol was so bad they had already bought his headstone. This is how bad. They said he'd be dead in months. And so he took a half a cup of granular lecithin and a glass of orange juice because he couldn't. But I said milk is better. It makes it creamy. He said, I know, but I can't have milk. I can't have anything but boiled turkey and raw vegetables. So that's a really bad diet. You know, he was really bad. So he took a half a cup of lecithin and the orange juice, though I recommended milk, with a B complex 50. He took it in the morning and he took it at night. The only thing is when you do this to lower your cholesterol level, do be aware you need, hold on. Oh God. The phone was getting ready to go. I've been doing very well. So when he took that, I told him, check the doctor in 6 months. And he did, and his cholesterol was gone. The doctor thought that maybe he misdiagnosed him. After he got it down to normal numbers, I told him, you're going to have to take this for the rest of your life, but cut it back to 2 tablespoons twice a day. And that's all you have to do with the B complex twice a day, and you'll be fine. You won't have any more problems. And that's what he did. And when his cholesterol came down, he ran up behind me and gave me the biggest hug and flip. I mean, I turned around and said, but Tony, he picked me up and spun me around. He said, thank you for saving my life. My wife and I are going out to dinner. I am going to have a steak and I want butter on. I have mashed potatoes with sour cream and butter and salt and pepper. I want a big dessert. I mean, he was going, I said, Tony, he said, my cholesterol is normal. I'm not going to die. And he was very happy. I have been busy, that's for sure. You're welcome, Cleo. I have to get a coffee cup. So now you know about inflammation. If you have it and you don't have arthritis, but you have inflammation, you know that it's because you got the omega-6 too high and it's got to be a much lower number than omega-3. Because everyone is messing with all the food and everything, we're having a very hard time. Listen, I will remember that story till the day I close my eyes. To see the joy on his face. He couldn't even walk, 10 steps without almost collapsing. That's how bad his arteries were clogged. And it's a story, and I can close my eyes and see Tony, this friend of ours. I said, Tony, my husband's name was Tony, and Tony, our friend was named Tony. So if I said Tony, everybody answered me, So I'll never forget. Now look, we don't know everything about the human body, but the things that we do know, you can take action on. Like if you want to quit smoking, you get a B complex 50 and 10 milligrams of niacinamide, which is another B. You take those twice a day, one of each together and one at night. In about 2 weeks, you're going to not have cravings of smoking because they know niacinamide is a B vitamin. But people who smoke, the body takes the nicotine because it's starving for niacinamide. So you smoke because niacinamide helps you wake up in the morning and stuff. So the brain is missing it. So the body will try to get the nicotine from the cigarettes that you smoke. They want to say hi to you. No. You're not going anywhere. They're going to say hi to you. This is little Taffy. You're going to say hi? You're going to say hi, Taffy? See? You don't want to look in the camera. There you are. See, you're right in the camera. See? I've meditated. Yes, I have, Chris. Ashley, your boyfriend's think that Tony seems to be. Yeah, that's Taffy. No, I'm not gonna. When I sit down, I sit down. Okay. No, I'm not feeding you. No, he's fully grown, and he's heavy. His brother's even heavier than him. So these are a few things we know. So as I get information and they know this to be true, I'll bring it to your attention on nutrition. But remember, they don't know a lot, but they do know that, and they'll teach you in school, you got to count your calories. If you're dieting, you got to count your calories. You really got to count your protein. Now, if you want to diet, you're going to have to count your protein. Another thing is you should not eat 5 hours before bed. I'll go 8 hours before I go to bed, so when I wake up, I'm hungry in the morning. But when you get hungry, you don't eat until you're stuffed. You eat just until you're comfortable. A lot of people feel they have to be stuffed when they finish eating. Thanksgiving and Christmas, we all do it. But basically, you just need a little bit of food. Because remember, you need 70 grams of protein, correct? 2 eggs give you 13. One of those steaks is approximately 70 grams of protein. So you'd only have to eat one of those cube steaks and you get all your protein. But you eat a lot more than that. That's why people are getting heavier. And remember, if all the processed foods that you're buying, they're loaded with chemicals and a lot of sugar. And the sugar they like using is corn syrup. That's why when you buy cookies, they're hard. When you make cookies at home, they aren't. Because we use sugar. They use corn syrup. Corn syrup used to be just used in candies. So I have enough time in that I know a lot of this already. TNG, all right. Oh, you want to know how teenagers, the food that they feed you, if you take a look, schools come in with cans of vegetables that are already canned. So they have preservatives. These companies actually use preservatives so they stay longer. All right, because if you buy fresh green beans, you'll notice they go bad quickly, so you have to use them and set them up according to your dates. Teenagers eat a lot of sodas and stuff. I didn't have sodas. If you knew, and you count the calories in those things, they say 1,800 calories. I count proteins. I had to buy root beer to make a barbecue sauce. Found a recipe for it. I only needed half a can. I've got 5 cans sitting in the pantry, and they haven't been touched in a year. I mean, they'll sit there. They'll probably go bad before I get to them. We just don't have sodas. Oh, good, Ashley. That is very good. Our sons were home tutored. It's called the IHIP program. Yeah, we used to get ginger ale had real pieces of ginger in it. Coke didn't have the corn syrup in it. Pepsi is made with prunes. Sprite is made with lemon lime. Orange Crush was real oranges in there. The pina coladas that you get in the store bought in the can is not the real pina colada. I've had the real pina colada when they first came out and they were in the village, and we went and had it once a week. To bake, you mean the oven? There's a lot of things that I like. And they'd be filet mignon that you broil. I love blueberry pie that you bake. A standing beef rib roast with a blanket. Oh, God, that's delicious. Okay, need I go further? But my top dish, really my very, very top dish, is biscuits with creamed chip beef. Believe it or not, that is one dish that I love above all of that other stuff. Good morning, Edward. Ashley, that's fine. But I'm just giving you some ideas of if you have to lose weight, be aware of that. And remember, the body is not meant to sit around. The body is meant to move. Oh, the rice. Yeah, rice is good. Which one do you use? Be careful of jasmine and balsamic rice unless you season it yourself with plain white rice. Because if you don't, those are two chemicals. And chemicals, when you start combining chemicals, and remember, each canned food has a different preservative. When they come in, and they come into your body, they make a new chemical. And it can give you a lot of problems health-wise further down the road. Not now when you're young, but when you get older. One woman I saw on television, and she had black spots all over. And she has a special cosmetologist, beautician. No, what's the woman that puts the makeup on? See, I haven't been in makeup in God almost 50 years, over 50 years. Well, I can't remember it all because I quit wearing makeup when I was 18. I went through my teens with the makeup and then I quit. Except for, and I wear lipstick now and that's it. Oh, I can't think of what it is. Anyway, she has to call this person in every day to put her face on. Had to draw her brows in. He had to put a foundation to build everything up here on her face because it was all blotchy with old age. And I said, those blotchy marks you have is a dirty colon. And people don't know that. I don't know. But you think about they each have one thing. But you can take any chemicals you have, cleansers and stuff, and you start mixing that stuff up, you're going to make new chemicals for your body, you know. That's right. So you have to be careful. So I can't tell you, DJ, I could not possibly tell you, but if this one has one chemical and you buy something else and that has a chemical and you're going to cook them together, well, something's going to happen. Simple thing is coffee and milk. They don't go well together, all right? If you're unaccustomed to it and you have black coffee, you notice when you have it, you don't feel bloated. But if you add milk to it or heavy cream or a dairy, you can feel the bloatedness, and in the back of your throat, you'll taste an acid there. Those chemicals react. Okay, so just imagine synthetic chemicals and what they do. And then if you take a medication, you're throwing that in too. So are they going to react with this or not react with this? So you think about it. You're a petri dish at this point. You got to be careful. Yes, Cleo, you're absolutely right. They do. You're very welcome, Isaiah. Eczema. Oh God. It seems to go to from what I have read. Okay, only from what I've read. It seems to come from the colon. It's a dirty system, and it's backed up. Now we're talking about something that's gonna make everybody sick, but that's all right. If you don't move your bowels, the bowels will stay in your system, in your colon, and you have pockets like this, coming up like that. So the bowels can sit in those pockets. While it sits there, what happens is your body that's all trash that they're getting rid of. What happens is they reabsorb the fluid. And when they reabsorb, because it's sitting there, the bowels get really hard. And that toxicity gets into the system that goes into the eczema. And that's basically what it is. Poor digestion and a dirty system. I've seen it on people. some people outgrow it because they move forward on it. But eczema, from what I have read, that's where it's coming from a dirty system. We used to have a person, Connie. She gave colonics. That 89-year-old lady was doing colonics. And I thought my husband had to do it because he's from Vietnam. He served. He had a lot of chemicals I reacted to. And he had to go and get a colonic every week for a year. And he figured after once or twice, there won't be anything the following week. There was more, because what you have to do is clean the colon. So you clean the colon, right? But you've got it all backed up in your system. So your systems say, oh, the colon's clean. We can start throwing stuff into the colon. And in a week's time, you're all toxic again, and you flush it out. And it slowly cleans the system. Like, let's say, if you're toxic up here, you take a colonic, it goes down a little bit, a little bit, a little bit, a little bit, until finally your body is clean. Now, I have heard, I don't know this to be a fact, but a lot of gay people get colonics once a week or once every 2 weeks to keep their system clean. They think that this will keep AIDS away. But that's what it is, an imbalance or a filthy system. And that's what I read, so I'm letting you know. Oh, okay, Edwin. And good morning to everybody. So that's what it is, and you have to be careful. I told you, it's a hard thing. It really is. It's so much to learn, and not everybody gets the same results from everything. Everybody is different. So don't think there's one cure for everybody. Some things, yes. Other things, no. Like I had to have eye surgery. He said, you've got cataracts. I said, how can I have cataracts? I'm not a diabetic. He said, we don't know what's going on, but you have cataracts. So they had to replace the lenses in my eyes so I could see again. I don't know why. I couldn't answer why. Oh, then you might be missing your acids. That's oil. Okay? Hi, Paul. Pay. Let's see. Dry skin. I use Natural Magic. Weather can affect your skin, but you could try the lotion. You put it on twice a day. It should take it, but if you break out, it would be too much oil. Then they say the body, the skin needs balanced B vitamins. But Adele Davis says there's more to it than that. So it's very, very hard. I wouldn't even know where to begin. Do you get like red rashes and stuff? No, when I grew up, the only people who get cataracts are usually diabetics. My skin reacts to lotion. No, this isn't lotion. You could try, this is oil. It's only oil that I put on my skin. It's called Natural Magic, Natura, Magic, Magic. And they call it a lotion, but it's not. It's oils. It's olive oil, peanut oil, lanolin, which your skin needs, and some rose water. But you can get it without the rose water, and you get it from bar, or you can buy it from Amazon. And it feeds your skin. I usually put it on morning and night every day. I have it on my face now. That's all I put on my skin except lipstick for my lips, and that's it. That's all it is. And I order it. So listen, if you want to try that, let me know how it works. I know in the winter I get very, very dry skin, so I sit there and I have to do that, okay? But listen, we've been talking I've been running my mouth for 2 hours now. Aren't you tired of hearing from me for now? I've got a mess to clean up, okay? And pack. So listen, I want all of you. Yeah, it's oil. Thank you, Shane. Yeah, Ashy, it's only oils that I put on my skin. I feed my skin every day, twice a day. So I want all of you, try it, Beckon, and let me know, okay? Thank you. But anyway, try it and see how it works. I think it cost $11 for a bottle of it. So it's not real expensive. So I want you to, I would like you, and I can't tell you, I would like you to try it to see if it works. All right, so listen, I'm going to say bye-bye now. I'm going to have my coffee, and then I'm going to clean up my mess, okay, and pack these lunches. Take care. Nice to meet you, Cleo. Bye-bye.